I'm Shauna of Nuclear Blonde, and welcome to Wine and Creators. Oh, and my friend Pablo here.
Hey!
Pablo Iglesias is
Yes.
here to talk. How are you doing?
Hello, Shauna. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is really exciting. I haven't had a chance to really talk about my music for a while now, so this is really a great opportunity. Thank you.
No, thank you. We are right now in the middle of Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living, right?
Yes, this is the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. It's my spiritual home and also my musical home now.
In my home too. So here you go. Here is a show to the audience. Nuclear Blonde. You don't know me, but you show, right?
You Don't Know Me, But You Should. Yeah, that's
You
actually
should.
the title track of my album. And You Don't Know Me, But You Should was sort of my announcement to the world. Here I am,
So
singing the blues.
what kind? Oh, you play blues, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. What kind of blues do you play?
Oh gosh, well that's a really good question. I'm actually not specifically in the blues genre, but I would call it kind of a combination of blues flavored pop, rock, and smoking hot licks. I love guitar, I love keyboard, I have a sax player. One of my I have a big band. A big
Wow.
band.
How
with-
many people play with you?
Well, this next upcoming concert that we're doing, I'm going to have 6. Plus, I've also brought in Helen Mead, who is, she's a singer-songwriter, she plays guitar, and she's been performing for decades. And I invited Helen to come and open for us so that we could do a few little quiet numbers together, little peaceful, easy feeling. And, because my band is awesome.
How many instruments have your band?
Pardon?
How many people are in the band?
So we have Stu Vietz on sax. He's I would call him the other half of Nuclear Blonde because he's sort of I met him out at Jessel's. I used to sing at Jessel's Gallery, jamming at Jessel's. And Stu showed up one night, jumped in with playing with me, and I had a gig coming up the next week, and I said, do you want to come and play with us next week? And he's been with me ever since. So that was almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he sat in with the band one night.
So in total, how many people are?
Okay, so we have Stu Vietz, we have Manabu Okahara on guitar, we have Steve Treveo on drums, we have Steve Delamajora, who is playing bass this time. Normally he would be playing keys, but my husband is working. My husband's my bass player. He's been my bass player for we've been married almost 35 years now, and he's got to work. So Steve, fortunately, is very versatile, and he can play anything, including accordion. He's a really versatile player. So Steve Delamajora is going to jump in on bass, and Helen Mead's going to be doing rhythm guitar, and we might have another few surprises, other people joining us. On my album,
So around 5 people in total?
Around 5, were you counting?
Yeah, so like, I'm bad in maths, but I think so around 5
I've
or 6.
had as many as 7.
Right.
7?
7?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
7. Okay, say 7.
On my album, there's actually 10 people that play with me.
Oh,
on my
really?
album, yeah.
Wow, it's a big group.
Yeah, including Johnny Smith. I don't know if you know Johnny. He's a local.
Yeah.
Johnny and I have a duet on my album that we do together. It's called Any Place, Anywhere, Anytime. And some of my songs have been on the radio. In fact, I was thinking
In the local radio? What radio?
Local radio and Santa Rosa. So the local area. And we had a couple of songs hit on the blues charts. So we've had a lot. This album came out in 2015.
Okay.
So I've spent the last 9 years working on my next album. This is actually a wonderful collaboration with a talented group of musicians who have been supporting me since I started. I do not play an instrument. I do not read music.
Oh, really?
I'm a musical savant.
Right.
But I write songs.
Right.
So
Exactly. Style Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson never was playing some instrument. It's only organic, you know.
Yes, yeah, and well, he does dance.
Right.
I dance too.
Yeah.
They used to hide the tambourine from me, but now they let me play tambourine. So I guess that is an instrument I get to play on the tambourine.
So start from the beginning. Where are you born, Shauna?
Well, I was born in San Francisco. My parents were both native Napans. My grandmother went to St. Helena High School. My parents went to Napa High. I went to Napa High. My children went to Napa High.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a native Napan all the way through and through.
So what do you think about Napa Valley? You know.
Oh, what do I think about Napa Valley?
Yeah.
I love Napa Valley. You know, my daughter and son-in-law both work for Farniente. Steve is the director of Nickel and Nickel, and my daughter
Wow.
is the event director for Farniente and Nickel and Nickel. So,
Wow.
yeah,
You have very good contacts.
I do.
All the families involved in the
You know,
wine business.
we get a lot of really fabulous wine.
Wow.
I have a cousin who produces Camus wine, and you know, just a very broad connection here to the Napa Valley. I think.
Wow.
My kids went to school here. My son was in theater, and my daughter was in drama. My son actually, he traveled to France and sang on the beaches of Normandy, and he's
Nice.
yeah. So you know, he followed along in my footsteps with the singing. He was up until recently member of the Santa Barbara Gay Men's Chorus, and he just moved to San Francisco last week. So I'm hoping that he will continue to be involved in music. He comes up here sometimes too, and he's sang with me here in church too. So I'm
How
hoping to
many
get him more.
years, Shauna, are you involved in the music business?
Well, you know, that's really funny because I got a late start. I didn't start I always wanted to sing, but I had terrible stage fright. So I would audition, and then I'd get up there and choke. So I'd always get like a role in the chorus, you know. And then I was at summer. My father lived in Minnesota, and my stepmom, she unfortunately had terminal cancer. So I took my kids out to see her, to visit her, and she's like, "You're so miserable. What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, I'm frustrated." She goes, "Well, you know, when you were a kid, you used to just run around here singing at the top of your lungs. Why don't you go do something with that?" She goes, "You're so talented." And I said to her, I said, "I'm too old and I'm too fat."
Oh no,
I was 35 years old. So she said, "Well, then go play an old fat person." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can play an old fat person." So when I came back to Napa, there just happened to be an audition for a musical, and they had a role of an old fat person, Sophie Tucker, who was an old vaudeville.
funny.
I know. So I went to the audition, and because I wasn't trying for the stars or anything, I got up and I did my song, and then afterwards I told the director, I said, "You know, I think I'd be perfect for Sophie Tucker." And she said, "I think I have something better for you." And I actually ended up getting the lead role in the show. I played Sugar, the showgirl who'd been around the block a few too many times.
Wow.
I sang Cole Porter. You know, it was really like an amazing 3 weeks. We actually performed, we had 15 shows at the Tucker Farm Center, and here in Napa when there was a local theater group, so we played there too. So it was 15 shows, and I got rave reviews. It was wonderful, and it kind of started me down the path.
That's
And
great.
the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living was actually the first place where I sang professionally.
Wow.
I got paid, so that embarked my my very first paid professional gig. I sang here in church, and there was a minister from the Marin Church, and she said, "I want you to come and sing at my church." And so I did, and I got my first money for singing.
Congratulations.
And, yeah,
Congratulations.
and
for sure.
the rest is history. I just kind of busted out of my shell.
So when you will play here again in Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living?
Oh,
When is
actually,
coming your show?
okay. Well, actually, September.
Invite my people, please.
Okay. Yes, please. So let me just back up just a tad. So the last time that my band got together was September 15th. And our show coming up is September 14th. So 5 years ago was the last time that my band and I were together. and we had some stuff booked, but then of course COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so all of our gigs got canceled. And so one of the things that we did here at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living was we decided to do an online fundraiser. And Reverend Jay and I kind of played around with it. We came up with Unbottled
Right.
as sort of a counterpoint to Bottle Rock.
Uh-huh.
And it was COVID. It was the first year of streaming, so we did a live streaming fundraiser, and so that was the very first time that I performed here at church. So the Unbottled concert went from being online, and then last year we decided to we just redone our courtyard, so we decided to do some concerts in the courtyard. And this year we actually had this. My show will be the 4th. We're calling it the Unbottled Free Concert Series.
September 14th?
September 14th. Yep.
Wow.
Here
Everybody
at
come, please, to Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living.
to the
right?
Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'll have my band, most of them anyway. We'll be here, and it's going to be awesome. You can come sit in the courtyard. It's a free concert, but
Free concert.
A free concert, yeah.
No, put in your refrigerator, right?
all
Free
you can bring a wine picnic.
Right.
You can come, you can sit, you can enjoy the music and enjoy the company. It's going to be awesome.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
So in this album,
Yes.
so first, where you recorded this album?
Oh, Pop Studios in San Rafael with Stephen Maloney, who was just fresh out of school. He went on to he was on Yoko Ono's bus. They did a bus all over the United States.
Really? Wow.
Where they went into schools.
Yoko Ono.
Yeah, went
No
into
way.
schools and recorded,
Yeah.
recorded students, and then also in Europe. So it was
Wow.
I like to say he got, he cut his teeth on Nuclear Blonde for sure.
Right.
So we were his first, job role in producing. So he was our sound engineer. He was our producer. My husband was the executive producer on this album, and we recorded it in San Rafael. But then we did all of the other takes at Steve's house.
Wow.
We just rolled in and did a studio, and it was quite an adventure. I'd never done anything
Exactly,
like
an
it before.
adventure.
All of the songs on this album I wrote, and as I was telling you before, I'm kind of a music.
So you're a songwriter.
I am a songwriter.
Yeah.
I'm a musical savant because I don't read music and I don't play an instrument.
Wow.
So so I rely on